I promised you guys a video about fast and slow twitch muscle fibers and how maybe it pertains to SLU PP 332. So let's talk about this. Two types of muscle fibers. It's actually three, but let's break it down into two. Fast twitch muscle fibers, and also called white muscle fibers, and then you have slow twitch muscle fibers, also called red. So let's break that one up. Fast muscle fibers, think of white fibers, think of white knuckling it. Oh my gosh, they're intense. It's that bench, it's that sprint. It is when the muscle contracts real hard, a lot of power, but fatigues very, very quickly. Yeah? Fatigues after a few seconds. Um, those are the muscle fibers that can grow. When we talk about hypertrophy, they're the muscle fibers that can get bigger. Yeah. So now we have over the other side, we have slow twitch muscle fibers. Slow twitch muscle fibers, they're also called red muscle fibers because red, they're full of capillaries and blood supply. And now the slow twitch muscle fibers are muscle fibers that can just keep contracting. They can just keep going. So we have them in our core, we have them in our calves because we have to, diaphragm has to keep moving. We have to keep it upright. Stability muscle fibers. It would be terrible if they fatigued after a few seconds. We need them to keep going, right? So every muscle has a combination of both um, fast and slow twitch muscle fibers. And that is one of the reasons why you might have a heart, just one of the reasons, it's not the reason, one of the reasons why somebody might be a hard gainer. So a hard gainer is somebody that will train real hard, they can be very strong, but they just don't gain much muscle. Often ectomorphs are hard gainers. So prior videos or come in my programs for that. But ectomorphs are the people that have trouble gaining weight and they have their own challenges. But one of the reasons they can be hard gainers. Then you get the person that's super blessed and looks at their weight and they build muscle. So one of the reasons that can happen is can be the dominance of the muscle fibers. So maybe the hard gainer has more slow twitch muscle fibers, more of the endurance muscle fibers, the fibers that don't fatigue, which you will notice because a lot of ectomorphs, they love endurance exercise. They can keep going, keep going. They love that stuff. And then you'll get the person that can gain muscle quickly. And just one of the reasons can be that they have more of the fast twitch muscle fibers, those explosive muscle fibers. Remember, they're the muscle fibers that can grow. They can hypertrophy. They can get bigger, right? Denser, bigger. So the muscle fibers, and depending on the exercise, are using different fuels. So when we talk about the fast twitch muscle fibers, the white muscle fibers, that explosive movement, we're talking about a sugar burning activity. So why is it sugar burning? Well, because we have carbohydrates already stored in the muscle and we kind of need the fuel pretty quick. So, it's going to be sugar burning because the fuel's already there. You know, if you want to wait for fat, that fat is going to have to be mobilized from its storage site, wherever you hold fat. It's going to have to travel in the blood. It's going to be released at first, it's a whole thing. Will travel through the blood, get to the working muscle, and now it can be used as fuel. Well, the set's over. So sugar burning exercise, fast, explosive. It's already there. The fuel's already available. Then we have the endurance exercise or the endurance muscles, the red fibers, the slow twitch muscle fibers, which are resistant to fatigue. They can keep going and they are fat burning because they can be fat burning. Fat does have time to be, through lipolysis, to be broken down, to travel in the blood, get to the working muscle, and be oxidized as fuel. So, when we do endurance exercise where the muscle is contracting over a certain length of time, that's why that is a fat burning exercise. And again, every muscle can have both. There are studies now that show one muscle fiber can turn into another. We didn't think that was possible, but now we know that's true. But again, it would have to be an adaptation that was caused by some prolonged stimuli. How does this then apply to SLU PP 332? So when we do endurance exercise, one of the reasons that the muscles burn fat for fuel is because when we do the endurance exercise, it activates a receptor on the muscle cell, which tells the muscle to burn fat for fuel. It's saying, hey, we're doing endurance exercise. You better use fat for fuel because that's the fuel that's appropriate for the exercise that I'm doing. SLU PP332 activates the same receptor. If it activates the same receptor, it's going to tell the muscle what fuel to burn. Fat. Now, the muscle has a choice. It can use sugar, carbohydrates for fuel. It can use sugar and oxygen, which is going to be preferred, absolutely. And then it can use fat. This is activating the receptor that tells the muscle to prioritize to burn fat for fuel. So if we're talking about body composition, fat loss, I mean, it all starts, if you want to lose fat, keep it off, just keep in a fat burning state and improve your endurance, which is what I'm testing right now, then yeah, yeah, burn fat for fuel. Um, Now, what about if you would like to be in a fat burning state, but you also want to build muscle? You also, like me, I'm obsessed to the point of obsession of, muscle and metabolism. You have to incorporate your heavy lifting. Well, I'm probably speaking to the choir now anyway. You're probably already doing that, but we do have to provide the muscle with a stimuli that requires, muscle maintenance and muscle building. So we do have to train for hypertrophy. If you want to take this just for endurance, and that's your gig, endurance, fabulous. I mean, no brainer. If you would like to consider something like this, for its fat burning a prior emphasis, but you also want to build muscle like I do, then you have to be doing the weight training. It's very important to be doing the weight training. Also, myself, I'm going to cycle with this. I'm going to do maybe 2 or 3 weeks on. I'm going to do a week off. I mean, this isn't like you don't take this. You're not committed to it for life or anything like this. Maybe use it for a few months. Maybe take a month off. It's fine. There's no there's no massive commitment to you have to take this forever, although I probably will. So for those of you that have a similar goal to me, I do want to improve my endurance. So as we get older, I do notice my endurance isn't as good. I mean, I check my VO2 max, I do all that, and as with age, it does come down, and I'm testing that right now to see how it improves with this product. I'll let you know. But I do want my endurance to be better, but I'm also as vain as anybody, and I want to make sure my body is burning fat for fuel. If it's given a choice, I want it to use fat. Thank you very much. You know? But I also want to build muscle. So I'm going to cycle this thing. Just why not? You don't have to take it all the time. I'm going to take it I'll probably do 2 months on, 1 month off, something like that. But I'm going to give my body the stimuli that is telling the muscle and telling my body, hey, and I'm giving it enough protein, like, hey, there is a continued stress on the muscle that we can't ignore. And we have enough protein over here. We're going to make sure we also feed this muscle, make it builder, make it adapt, hopefully build a bunch. It's a perfect combo. So yeah, I'm loving the SLU. Do your own research, go look it up, go ask ChatGPT or something. But that's how it's working. And I just wanted to give you a brief description on the different muscle fibers so you'll understand what this is optimizing. And maybe that little bit of information also explained, your physical ability to build muscle, or maybe you're struggling a little bit. I can do another video on body types. I know that's a very, very popular subject in all my programs. I can easily do a video here. But SLU PP 332, I am loving anything that optimizes pathways that we already have, not creating an artificial or false environment, not adding something that the body's not used to. We're just clearing a pathway and optimizing a pathway we already have, just being a better version of what we are already. That's what I'm about. Anyway, link in bio or SLU332.com. Do your own research.